Hello everyone. The end of the Cataclysm was proclaimed to be the dawn of the Age of Mortals. And so mortals did what they do best, which is war with each other. War Chief Garrosh Hellscream led the charge with the bombing of Fedamore. But once the mists around Pandaria parted, more lands, people and resources awaited to be claimed.
To ask why we fight is to ask why the leaves fall. It is in their nature. Perhaps there is a better question. Why do we fight? To protect home and family. To preserve balance and bring harmony. For my kind, the true question is, what is worth fighting for?
The Alliance went in under the orders of King Varian to reclaim the White Pawn, his son Enduin, whose ship has gone off course by the mist still surrounding Pandaria.
We have been drawn off course. Horde air fleet. Many casualties. Shipwrecked on an uncharted isle. But the White Pawn is accounted for. Repeat, the White Pawn is safe.
Enduin.
Surprise attack! Requesting immediate, if anyone's received.
Sir, the 7th Fleet has already been dispatched, but it could take weeks before it...
There's no time to waste. We'll send a small elite force to secure this new land and bring back my son.
Whereas the Hordes, they quickly followed under orders of the War Chief.
Alliance blood spills. This pleases me, General.
There's more. I received word that our southern fleet engaged an Alliance envoy. We chased the royal flagship until it ran aground.
Aground? Where?
Apparently, they found a massive, uncharted landmass, shrouded by dense mists.
And you let the Alliance get there first! Redirect the invasion fleet! General, you and your best veterans will pave our way. Storm the shore and paint this new continent red!
Landing within the Jade Forest, aptly named not only due to the jade in the ground, but also because of Yu'lon, the Jade Serpent, who makes her home here. She is one of the 4 August Celestials of Pandaria, wild gods that have watched over the lands for as long as they can remember. In the days that Leishen the Thunder King brought misery, Yu'lon was one of the last remaining sparks of hope for the Pandaren. Not wanting his slaves to have any of that, the Thunder King shot her down with a bolt of lightning, sending her to die in the Jade Forest below. Instead of death, Yu'lon came up with a solution. She asked the Pandaren to build her a statue in her likeness, which took them around 100 years to complete. Once done, she transferred her life essence into the statue, and then was reborn. A cycle that now needs to be repeated every 100 years or so. Yu'lon would also assist Emperor Xiaohao with guidance on his journey, the Emperor being unable to completely vanquish the Sha, instead deciding to imprison them beneath the lands, beneath the temples of Pandaria's August Celestials. For Yu'lon, that would be the Sha of Doubts. Now the Alliance and Horde coming in hot and bothered, full of negative emotions. It offered a feast to the Sha, and while Taranzu, leader of the Shadowpan, tried to convince us to stop feeding the Sha and causing more trouble for Pandaria, neither side was going to back down. The Alliance recruited the aid of the Jinyu, Murlocs that had found a way to the waters of the Veil and evolved similar to how the Dark Trolls had found a way to the Well of Eternity and they became the Night Elves. The Horde recruited the Hosen to help them out, first through fear, but Lorewalker Cho advised them to follow a different path.
Here we are. Over 14,000 years ago, this entire land was ruled by a terrible race of warlords called the Mogu. The Mogu ruled through fear, and fear kept them in power, until the first Pandaren monks taught my people courage. Then, the Mogu were overthrown. You see, those who lead through fear only stay in power, while those they govern lack courage. The Hosen are many things, but they are not cowards. Not for long. If you don't wish to fight them, you must inspire them.
He's a member of the Lorewalkers, an organization set up to share the people's history through oral storytelling, as back in the day, they were forbidden to learn how to read or write. Lorewalkers do more than just retell stories. They use their learned wisdom to mediate conflicts, diffuse tense situations, try to help all sides see reason, and find a middle ground. Now the Alliance doesn't have to feel jealous about this. Joe is more than happy to help them out as well. Help them with locating the White Pawn while smacking them as they try to meditate.
I'm so sorry. That did not alarm you, did it?
They in fact do find Anduin, but the White Pawn has no intention of going home.
Prince Anduin, we've come to take you home. Come quietly now.
I'm sorry, but I won't. I'm sure you understand my reasons.
Eh? Oh, you're absolutely right, Prince Anduin. You're free to go as you please.
He even uses mind control to avoid us, so we'll run into him again later. Meanwhile, the Horde was also wise enough to listen to Cho, and instead made true allies out of the Hosen, which is ironic, considering there's a history of betrayal from the Hosen to the Jinyu. Safe to say, these two races didn't need a whole lot of convincing to start fighting each other, which they did. Right underneath the statue for the Jade Serpent, right on top, the prison for the Sha of Doubts.
A message must lie within. What fate did the Emperor foresee?
massive loss of life, destruction, and not to mention that the rebirth of the Jade Serpent is now postponed. We go around cleaning up our mess, including banishing the Shaft Doubt from the Temple of the Jade Serpent. The August Celestial does kindly escort us into the next zone, the Valley of the Four Winds. Before we go there, let's not forget to talk about the Order of the Cloud Serpents. They've been around since the days that Lei Shen had fallen, but the Zandalari trolls had not forgotten about the lands that he had promised to them. Not expecting the Pandaren to honor the deal they've made with the Thunder King, the Zandalari instead went on the attack. And they brought in a form of warfare that none had ever seen, descending into battle on the backs of reptilian patera wings and giant bats. An answer, salvation, came from a young Pandaren named Yang. When she was a child, she had found a cloud serpent hatchling, all alone and badly injured after a terrible storm had destroyed his nest. At the time, the Pandaren regarded the flying cloud serpents as untamable and violent beasts, but Yang nursed him back to health and befriended him. Those in the village often saw them flying the skies together. As the monks fought a losing battle atop the cliffs of the Jade Forest, Zhang and his serpentine companion Lo, they swooped down from the clouds. Their fury and fire broke the Zandalari ranks, forcing them to retreat. In pure desperation, the Zandalari already tried to resurrect Lei Shen. Attempts that were stopped by Zhang sacrificing herself. From that day on, more would follow in her footsteps and take to the skies upon the raised cloud serpents. We get to join their order, grow, play, and raise our very own cloud serpents until they've matured enough to become our mounts, and we too get to ride the skies on one of these heroic serpents.
We meet again, stranger from beyond the mists. This battle has extracted a heavy toll. My own rebirth will have to wait for several years. Learn from this, stranger. I do not know why the mists have opened, but I know that it is for a reason. It is clear that you are not here to bring your war to these lands. There is a darkness hidden here in Pandaria. This you have seen for yourself. But I am certain that the mists parted for a reason. You are that reason. Find your purpose here. You can learn a great deal about this land from the Valley of the Four Winds. There is another visitor from beyond the mists here. Chen Stormstout he is called. He is Pandaren, but from a different homeland. Walk this land with Chen at your side. Make friends among the people here. You will find answers in time.